Sai Ram, we shall now continue with chapter 5 of the Sai Satcharitra. How the fakir got the name Sai. When the marriage party came to Shirdi, it alighted at the foot of a banyan tree in Bhagat Malsapati's field near Khandoba's temple. The carts were loosened in the open courtyard of Khandoba's temple, and the members of the party descended one by one, and the fakir also got down. Bhagat Malsapati saw the young fakir getting down and accosted him, Ya Sai, which means welcome Sai. Others also addressed him as Sai, and thenceforth he became Sai Baba. Contact with other saints. Sai Baba began to stay in a deserted masjid. One saint named Devi Das had been living in Shirdi for many years before Baba came there. Baba liked his company. He stayed with him in the Maruti temple, in the Chavdi, and for some time lived alone. Then came another saint by the name Janki Das. Baba spent most of his time in talking with him, or Janki Das went to Baba's residence. So also one Vaishya householder saint, Gangagir from Puntambe, always frequented Shirdi. When he first saw Sai Baba carrying pitchers of water in both hands for watering the garden, he was amazed and said openly, Blessed is Shirdi that it got this precious jewel. This man is carrying water today, but he is not an ordinary fellow. As this land was fortunate and meritorious, it secured this jewel. So also, one famous saint by the name of Anand Nath of Yevala Mutt, a disciple of Akkalkot Maharaj, came to Shirdi with some people when he saw Sai Baba. He said openly, This is a precious diamond in reality. Though he looks like an ordinary man, he is not a gur, an ordinary stone, but a diamond. You will realize this in the near future. Saying this, he returned to Yevala. This was said while Sai Baba was a youngster. Baba's dress and daily routine. In his young days, Sai Baba grew the hair on his head, never had his head shaved. He dressed like an athlete. When he went to Rahata, which is 3 miles from Shirdi, he brought with him small plants of marigold, jay, and jui, and after cleaning them, he planted and watered them. A devotee by name Vaman Tatya supplied him daily with 2 unbaked earthen pitchers. With these, Baba used to water the plants himself. He drew water from the well and carried the pitchers on his shoulders. In the evening, the pitchers were kept at the foot of the neem tree. As soon as they were placed there, they broke, as they were made of mud and not baked. Next day, Tatya supplied 2 fresh pitchers. This course went on for 3 years, and with Sai Baba's toil and effort, there grew a garden. On this site at present stands a big mansion, the Samadhi Mandir of Baba, which is frequented now by so many devotees. The story of Padukas under the neem tree. A devotee of Akkalkot Maharaj by name Bhai Krishna Ji Ali Bakar worshipped the photo of Akkalkot Maharaj. He once thought of going to Akkalkot, take the darshan of the Padukas of the Maharaj and offer his sincere prayer there. But before he could go there, he got a vision in his dream. Akkalkot Maharaj appeared in the vision and said to him, Now Shirdi is my resting place. Go there and offer your worship. So Bhai changed his plan and came to Shirdi, worshipped Baba, stayed there for 6 months and was happy. As a reminiscence of this vision, etc., he prepared the Padukas and installed them on an auspicious day of Shravan, Shaka 1834, which is 1912 AD, under the neem tree with due ceremonies and formalities conducted by Dada Kelkar and Upasani. One Dikshit Brahman was appointed for worship and the management was entrusted to devotee Shagun. We will pause the reading here and take on the next story in the next video. As we read these very brief stories, it is hard not to be moved by how much effort Baba put into making Shirdi what it is today. When we go to the garden, when we admire the beautiful flowers and the trees and the greenery, I think it is important to connect with that and to remember that Baba nourished this land with his own hands by taking water out of the well himself and irrigating that land by his own hands. Today, we can make so many excuses to avoid effort and not really do anything if we don't see the benefit in it directly and quickly. But there's so much to be learned from Baba and Baba's grace and how all great beings work so selflessly for generations to come, for a future that doesn't even exist yet. It is also a big lesson in seeing how all these great saints and great beings and people with all these supernatural powers that we might not even know use them to serve humanity, to serve future generations. It is so common today to constantly think of techniques and siddhis and powers so that we get what we want, so that I can manifest this and manifest that. But they don't really think like that. They don't live like that. They suffer so much and are inconvenienced so much, but they use their powers for the greater good. And I think that's a very, very important lesson. And it's a very, very humbling realization that evokes much gratitude in you. And it is also worth noting how this process went on for 3 years. He did this every day, and how his devotee brought him 2 jugs every day. Many of us might get bored or get sick of doing this again and again and be like, what is the point of this? Why am I doing this? But this person kept at it, had faith in Baba, and kept serving him till it was needed. I think this is a very, very valuable lesson in unconditional love, unconditional support, and faith and service of your Guru. We will close this session now. We will see you in the next video. Sai Ram.